Welcome back, everybody, to your Paso Running Podcast. We are now in 2026 and ready for our first episode of the year. I'm your host for the show. I'm Dr. Maria Fuentes, and as a runner and a run coach based in El Paso, Texas, I've created this open space to support our wonderful running community. Here we can listen to inspiring stories and learn from each other. And we dive into expert advice, we share training tips, and talk about the latest running trends and local events, helping you stay informed, motivated, and connected. So let's keep running and continue growing together by learning from each other. Today's topic, let me introduce you to my wonderful guest today. So we know the El Paso running community keeps growing. We see a lot of running groups going out there in El Paso. I love how to see this trend and more in groups, people and groups are running out there. It's beautiful to see our city moving. But there's one particular run club that we know they have been there since the beginning. These guys, they always have the city moving. They always have challenges. They always have inspiring and motivating others to keep going for more. I know they're always pushing people to believe in themselves and providing support and providing guidance. These guys, I've never seen them stop. I see them growing, not only in running in the running world, but in cycling, in doing triathlons, now in high rocks. So these guys just keep going for more and more and more, and I love to see that about them. I think they were the first run club that I pretty much got in contact with. I know they opened the doors for me in terms of allowing me to come and give some education classes and talking to the people. So I have them in my heart, and I see them growing. Their leadership skills is just amazing. So I'm very happy to have one of them here today. Of course, Julio Ruiz. Welcome, Julio.
Thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
Just to tell you a little bit more about Julio, and before opening the mic to Julio, was born here in El Paso, Texas, and raised in Ciudad Juarez, like most of us. We're part of like the sister cities, right? From an early age, the sports played a central role in his life. He practiced both swimming and soccer. Later on, I didn't know he was into skateboarding as well. So it's pretty cool to see. Yeah, it's amazing. Later on, he went back as a freshman to UTEP. He enrolled in soccer and passed both with honors there. So really very proud to hear that. He chose to major in sports, events, and tourism management at UTSA San Antonio. I didn't know that about you, Julio. So see, that's why I love having people here, because I learn about them. There he was exposed to the broader sports industry, studying professional team management, human resources, event coordination, sales, and sports administration. Now we can see why they do it so well. His first half marathon was a Rock and Roll San Antonio. He finished his first half marathon in 1 hour, 53 minutes. Very an amazing debut. And it wasn't until 2020 that it looks like everything changed. We now know that Liv3 Athletics is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, run club that we have. So I'm very happy to hear you and share the story with us. You know, what motivates you, how you got here, and how you're able to move the El Paso running committee the way that you guys do. So first, Julio, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction. It sounded very nice. I really appreciate you. I didn't know you started with us, or it was the first opportunity, which makes me really happy, because that is something that we strive to do in our community as a whole. We can talk more about it later on. Also, the first podcast in the year, so no pressure, right?
Of course,
so
of
we're
course.
starting, we need to start with a bang, because we're going to set the mood and the tone for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for opening the doors to your audience and to what you're doing. I'm happy to see your growth on not only as a runner, which you have achieved a lot of stuff since when I remember you started with us, but now also this project is pretty good, and I believe it offers a lot of value to the whole running community. And why not also the triathlon and the high rockers and CrossFitters, and you never know. The goal is to keep the city inspired, right? So the doors are open.
First of all, well, thank you for that, Julio. So how did you get into running? I see that you started as a kid, but you were playing soccer. How did you get into the running world?
That's a great question. I always practiced sports since little. It was until I was in college, one of my particular courses require for me to volunteer at different events. Some were at basketball, the Spurs Arena. That was very cool. Some others were at the hockey events. And this last one in particular was the event that the class was trying not to participate. And I'm a good procrastinator, very good at what I do. And I had to go to that event. That event was the cross country from the high schools at San Antonio. And San Antonio, back then, it was not as cold as right now. They're getting colder days. But back then, you hardly will get any cold days. So I had to volunteer at that. I did not took the right jacket, so it was one of the coldest days in fall. But I saw all these kids running on their tanks and everything. And after that whole day that I struggled with the cold and I saw these kids running longer distances and what they've done, I thought of myself, like, why not? I can do this. I practice all these sports I run during soccer. Why not? And the following month, it was the Rock and Roll Marathon in San Antonio. So I just signed up.
So you didn't even actually train for it. You had like a good background of doing sports, but not really like a training for that.
Correct.
Long distance.
I impressed myself, honestly. I did pretty good, I believe. I pushed myself, and I knew I should have not don't stop. I started way too hot out of the gate, but of course I was barely starting. I didn't know what pacing was. I didn't know, pacing or how to. I only drank water. So I think I did pretty good. But back then I was way too young.
This was high school, right?
No, this is college.
College, in freshman year, okay.
Mm-hmm. And thanks to that class, I got exposed to it. It's not freshman, it was more like junior, senior, finishing my degree. And after that event, we just started signing up to the different races because that way we got to know more about San Antonio. They have really cool races that you go and visit the missions. There is very particular one where you do 1 mile and then you do I cannot remember the amount of steps, but you go all the steps up to the Torre de las Americas and then you go back down. So that was another cool event. My roommates back then, they invited me to the Tough Mudder. So that's how I started getting my events and going event to event.
So I know Rock and Roll San Antonio, there's no more Rock and Roll, right?
No.
I believe it moved just to the city, unfortunately. Did you ever get to do the full marathon?
Yes.
Because I think it's beautiful when you have like the first experience and it's like something personal, kind of like go back and you're like, no, I'm going to do the full.
Exactly, yes. I completely agree. I have done several marathons and I'm very proud about being here from this area. It's very particular. There's 3 different states, 2 different countries, and I got the pleasure to live on the 3 states, of course, the 2 countries. Yeah. And also, I spent 7 years living in San Antonio. During my time in San Antonio, we came back, and then I continued with the marathons. I knew I had to go back and do the marathon in San Antonio because that's where I started running. And I did have the opportunity the last year that they did the Rock and Roll, I did it. So it was pretty good, pretty rewarding. On that same note, doing the marathon over there, as I did it here in Juarez, it is rewarding. And you remember, like as you pass by places, you remember when you were at the stoplight with your dad going towards school, or little things like that I never thought I would be running in the middle of the street, this crazy amount of miles, surrounded by all these people.
It's amazing. The things we think when we're running, I feel it's kind of a meditation process when you are able to talk to yourself and be thinking of these memories that you didn't think you remember, but suddenly come to that moment and they just keep you going. It is a beautiful thing.
That is very true. Running can become a meditation or puts you in a meditative state. And the reason why, everything, the oxygen, the blood flow, you're a well-oiled machine running. But in order to get to the meditation state, you need to be there for a few minutes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's not going to be a 5K. So this is some of the things that I like to share. So new people that are starting on the sport, they can push themselves to go a little bit further.
And I think that's why I love long distance so much, because I feel like long distance, it is more like a mental development that you have to train for. 5Ks and 10Ks, we know they're more about speed, right? But I feel like long distance is just a commitment to yourself to just keep going for more and more and more. Like, it makes you unstoppable.
Yes. Every race, it's tackled differently.
Yeah.
5Ks, even though they're fast, you're in the pain cave for a good amount of time, and it becomes mental, physical, and you versus you. And then on the other aspect, the longer distance is the endurance of your body, nourish your body, because depending on the distance, you set the tone, right? But also it's always pushing and go against all odds and having a strong why so you continue to push. So there's a lot of stuff that happens.
It's kind of like a different kind of pain. I feel that you choose. What do you prefer? Would you prefer the pain of speed, or do you prefer the pain of endurance?
That's a really good question. I never got this question before, and it's hard to decide, but I have to go for the longer distances.
A longer distance?
And when I'm talking longer distances, it's more than a marathon. It will be an ultra marathon because it's a roller coaster of emotion. Everything that is happening on your body's fighting for survival.
Yes.
So it's no longer just like a marathon. It's hormones happening, your nutrition, asking from your organs more that they can achieve, right? So it's a different tone. Let's remember that during these long distances, people can get to the point where they're hallucinating. So
That's true.
It's asking a lot from the bodies.
Kind of like, do you have what it takes to get there? I mean, we can put on the side nutrition and hydration, and let's just say that you have like everything perfect, right? Like for that moment. But going that distance and going to that finish line, and also ultras, because I know you've done like several ultras, what helps you at that moment when you already passed that wall, when you already break that barrier? What helps you get there? What does Julio think when you're on the last miles, on that final stage?
That is a really nice question, because what I think about is what we have built on these past 5 years, which is Liv3 Athletics. I think about the people that have come to us, the current people that I'm teaching, coaching, or providing advice. I remember of my friends that train with me and because if you have trained with me, you know that I try to motivate and push.
You're very competitive.
Yes.
I know you're a competitive guy.
But I liked people to push themselves to give their very best, not to like half tank, like go all
Let's go.
out.
You can
try
do it.
your best. That's it. If you try your best, you kill and wherever the dice land, that's what you got, and you win or you learn, right? So therefore, that's why I always push everybody to try your very best. And on that note, whenever I'm at that difficult time, I start thinking of my friends, and I know I cannot let them down. As our community and a leader of my community, I have to hold myself to high standard. So eventually, the people that are coming with me, they continue growing. There exists the law of the lid on leadership. So your team's always going to grow. If this is where you're at, your team's always just going to grow over here. So if you want your team to continue growing, lid
of course
is to be higher. Therefore, those are my thoughts, and at this moment, my main motivation. Not only that, but my family, my purpose, my goals, my future goals. And this technique, well, I don't know if it's a technique, but this method of thinking has helped me in the last triathlons, because swimming can be, you're there with your mind and the water, and all you hear is the noise of the water and the bubbles. But what I started thinking during my time at the water is about my goals. Once I come back and I'm home, I'm going to be working towards this. I'm going to tell this. I'm going to reach out to so-and-so, and this is what's going to happen. So just thinking about and painting the picture of what's going to happen on the next project, it keeps me happy, motivated. Once I'm out of the water on the triathlon, I'm ready to tackle the bike. But that helped me, and I just discovered it on these past 2 triathlons that I've done. So thinking about my future goals, like, yes, I'm right here at this moment, suffering and everything, thinking about my community, my family, my wife, and what's coming up next. Like, I'm going to have these under my belt. I'm going to be able to push for the next one. And that is, at this moment, what drives me. If I may add, during the running season that we used to motivate people and get people started to build the habit, we started the first challenge, 25 miles, is live accountability, then live consistency, then grit. And just like that, whenever I'm still like, I think about the team and I think about all those values that I try to get our community to acquire. So live grit, live consistency, live resilience, live ultra, and so on. And then I start adding values for life, like live faith, live powerful. And that is what I'm repeating on my mind. So that has become kind of my mantra when I'm really on pain.
Taking on that,
Yes.
on that pain cave. Now, something I want to ask you, because I think moving others, well, when we're talking about motivating ourselves to keep going, right? That's something very personal, and we have our families, we have our friends, and the different things or reasons that keeps pushing us. But when we're pushing other people, that's a special skill. I think it's very hard to be motivating other people to push themselves and to get there and to make those goals happen. How do you do it? I think that's a special skill that you guys have, and it's not easy to be motivating others. How do you do that? What's the secret?
Well, we need to identify what is it that individual makes him like motivate, or what tickles, right? I get to know the person, and I talk about my goals. I share what I want for the community as an athlete, my mission and vision. Once they see I am passionate and I care about what I do, and in other words, set the example, then identify what they're motivated about or what their goal is. And I truly believe that every human being is capable. Also, there's two things that need to happen for that athlete. Everybody can be an athlete. First, you need to acquire the identity. You need to believe yourself and look at yourself as a runner. Once it's not like I did a 5K. Am I a runner now? No. You become a runner the moment you want to be a runner. First, you turn that switch on. I'm a runner. Then you start acquiring the habits. The main one, consistency. That means if you have the discipline and you acquire the identity of what you want to achieve, collide, work, and you'll get where you want to be. Therefore, these athletes, I want to do a 5K. Easy. We're going to train and we're going to go together. And not only do I support them and I help them believe on themselves, sometimes it's also, you need to see like the person. You can tell who can push more and who is like being a little bit like saving some energy, or who really is barely starting. And from there, you'll know how to talk. And during the conversation, getting to know each other, identify like, okay, I know where we're gonna go. I know he can push. I know not only he can do the 5K, but I can already set the next goal, which is gonna be the 10K. That's what has worked for me personally as a coach. But as a community, it's everything that we have built on that same mentality. Because the individuals that have come, the athletes that come, share the goal, share the vision, they have the same mentality, the same goals for them and for the community, and they just keep on adding, right? Once new people come, they see he does really good. That guy swims really nice. Or whatever's the case, in the same community, feeds the same community, if that makes sense. But it's the belief, the support, and the challenge. I think that is what has helped us. And being innovative as well. Because it's always the same. It becomes monotonous, changing it up, making it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, and I see you guys every year you have new challenges, new programs, new things you're training for. So I think that's beautiful that you guys keep going. I think you mentioned something that is very, very, very important about having the right mindset and thinking that you are an athlete. I think it's very important that when you're training, a lot of like, oh no, I just jog, right? Or maybe I'm not a runner, right? But we don't take that mindset, hey, I'm an athlete. If you're training, if you're running and you're having your schedule, if you're taking care of your nutrition, if you're an athlete, and you have to believe that yourself, that you're an athlete. And I love that. Also, like my coach, when he told me you're an athlete, I'm like, what do you mean? I just want to run a half or whatever. No, if you're training, you're an athlete. And it's very important to have that mindset like for yourself and believe it. Créetela, right? So I think that's very important. Another thing as a coach, I think consistency. I see a lot of great runners. Sometimes you see a runner that they've never run and they're just naturally good. You're like, oh, I'm training all this time and I just cannot get there, right? But a few, I think, is really few. As a coach, I've seen that. Maybe you can tell me something different. Consistency is very hard to see and to build in some of these athletes. There are a lot of great runners, but few of them have that proper consistency. How do you help them build that consistency?
Yeah, consistency, it's hard.
It's
like
something else.
In every single aspect of life. But we go back to the what we just mentioned, like, getting the identity. And on that note, think like an athlete, eat like an athlete. Whenever you sit down, an athlete will not get a pizza. He will rather go for, Or carbs. There is very challenging to build that consistency, especially training towards a specific event, because life happens. There's a lot of factors coming into life that can probably deviate you to other parts. Number one, I am there for them 100%. If they didn't follow the program because so and so, okay. But the next week program is there for them regardless. They tell me what happened, but I don't question what they told me.
Okay.
At the end of the day, is their goal, and their effort is what's going to help them reach their goal. That is with an athlete that I'm helping getting prepared to the event. Now, if somebody that started on the sport, what has helped me? Accountability. So the running season, being there present, sending that message, hey, how's it going? So the following up, it's a big part of the accountability aspect and building consistency. If you make it, the running season fulfills a lot of those needs because we have a leaderboard. It makes it fun. You see your friends. There's a chat where people are communicating regarding the stats. There's people that are very competitive and that is studying the leaderboard and like he went and put them out. So the challenge, the running season has helped us achieve that in a specific with new people into the sport. Then also measuring. What gets measured gets done. Therefore, looking at their numbers and seeing with the progress, celebrate the little wins, because once they see they're generating gains and they're becoming better, it's easier just to stack and keep on building. Once you have a win, you realize you can do it, and then from there, little by little.
And that's important of these challenges, right? Maybe that's why they're like so successful. That I know you guys have like the 25 miles, 50 miles, 75, and so on, right? I guess when we all accomplish like crossing that finish line or maybe finishing a goal, it just gives us a sense of accomplishment that you're able, you're able to, if you can do that, you pretty much can do anything else in your life.
Correct. And these challenges build up little by little. If I tell somebody that has not practiced running and I tell them like you can run 100 miles in a month, they're gonna be like, that's insane, you're crazy. But if you little by little, 25, then 50, then 75. Month number 4, you've already been running for 4 months, building the consistency to prepare, you know when the time is allocated for your runs, so you build a habit overall. You build the stamina and the strength, endurance, and by the 4th month, you're already running 4 miles in a month. And you have people surrounded you. You have a community that is supporting and celebrating your wins on this running season. So the running season has been great for our community on these 5 years.
Now, I know, Julio, that I've seen, because I'm not really like on top of you or following you, but what I've seen, like how many miles is Julio doing? But I've seen that you're always training for different things, either the high rocks or I see you for the Ironman or different things. But sometimes I see that you don't have like this huge high mileage and boom, suddenly I see you running like an ultra marathon. How do you do that?
Well, I feel most of my runs when I run, I'm running at zone 2.
Okay.
So I would say all last year I was building base, so to say. And these I realized once I check out my whole year, and I was able to do a lot of events, which I'm very happy. I do enjoy having the diversity of workouts and trying this and going for this. Everything it's cardiovascular, for the majority, and I enjoy also building strength and lifting heavy feels really good. So I try to accommodate accordingly, and depending on the event that comes, my next event dictates the way I'm training. Now at this precise moment, I'm training for an event back to back, and there are different modalities, different disciplines. So therefore, it's building base. Now I'm going to start building more towards speed. And more in a specific, I know I can run long distance. I know I can hold my zone 2, I can hold my 9-minute pace, and I can hold it as long as the nutrition, everything else is under control. So depending on the event is the dedication that I'm going to have on that particular event. If it's a marathon, at this moment I can tell securely that I can do a marathon if I have to later after this podcast or tomorrow. I'm not saying it, I'm just saying it that I know my ability at this moment.
That you have that foundation.
Correct. And depending on what the event is coming is where my focus goes. This last year was a lot of learning, different modalities, different distances, because I have practiced the sports. But going the distance teach you about yourself. Last year, I learned about myself. This upcoming year, I know I can. I know where my opportunity for growth is, and that is what I'm going to tackle next. My intention for this year is to continue to do multiple events, multiple disciplines, but now I'm going to push it further. I know the base is there, and that is my next step for this.
What's your goal for 26? Tell
That's everything again, but faster. Still looking for that. I have this very particular goal, but I want to save it. I want to save it because I don't have the main event,
Okay.
but I know what I want.
You know what you
Yes,
want, but you just have to like.
Yeah. Yes, my immediate circle, I decided like 2 weeks ago, and I told them, and they're like, I feel like that's,
Yeah.
it sounds like that's the next one. And it's big, it's scary, and that's how it has to be. We had an exercise 2 weeks ago at the beginning of the year, and one of the questions was, what excites you a lot and scares you a little? That goal, that challenge, that excites me a lot and scares me a little.
Is that your part of like a dream goal, or do you still have like way there, like a dream? That's something that you would like to.
It's a step. I really enjoy all these multiple endurance sports. And endurance sports is a base or fundamental. I see it as a fundamental for life, for longevity overall. And if I can grow old practicing all these sports, it's going to be a life well lived. And that is my intention. I want to make it to elderly, have a decent elderly, and still be able to move. I see a lot of people in our community that are still running. I don't want to mention names, but I'm thinking of several of them. I just don't want to left anybody out. And I get inspired by them. I also get inspired by the people that are organizing events, the marathon, one of them, but also the trail runs, which is also related to that group. They have done this for years, and that is inspiring for me as well. I don't see myself doing something else. Thanks to 2020, it's pretty sad, but I have found my mission and my call, and what best to help my city. So that's what that change on 2020 left for me and my wife. We identify what we want to do and what best to identify at that moment, and we want to help the city of El Paso live a healthy and active lifestyle. And as we continue to grow, we will continue to inspire and hopefully inspire the city and bring more people into the sport.
You're definitely moving people. You're definitely inspiring people. You're definitely getting people out there to get started, to finish, to be part of it, to continue. Maybe they come back, but you guys are doing a lot for the city, and we all can see it. So
Nice.
congrats for everything that you guys do. Okay, so talking about that, I think it's interesting or beautiful to see. It looks like we're all running, doing the same thing, just go out for a run. But I hear you, and I hear like people that come and talk to me, right? What moves them, who they are. We're at the same time so different, like the stories behind us or what led us to this point or what moves us, we're like so different from each other. I find it like that is very difficult when it comes to competition because you never know what's moving or what's the story behind another person. I don't know, I've seen in Instagram that they were saying that a lot of people that have like hard lives or a past, like a difficult past or something in their lives, they end up in endurance sport because we change the mental pain or whatever suffering or something in your past, right? We change it for physical pain. Somehow we are more able to control that, be in control of that situation, and that's what keeps us going. Do you agree with that?
Yes. Now, I have not experienced such pains. I have not been there, but I agree.
Yeah.
I agree because what we do, and then you mentioned like, yes, we come from different backgrounds. I want to touch that first, and then we talk about the pain and how it can affect performance. But we all come from different backgrounds. We all have different stories. One thing that brings us in common is endurance, more in specifically running. Why is that? Because even though we're so different, that aspect alone is what brings us all together. It's in our genes. It's part of the reason why we evolve into what we are right now, our ability to run. When people come and tell me like, I'm not a runner. Oh my God, you are a runner.
Yes.
You were born to run. And that is the book that taught me about this. We were born to run. Our body it's a well-oiled machine, well-designed to run. Our feet, more than 36 bones in such a small pace, all to push you and propel you forward. The knees, your stomach, the lungs, having them up here and being vertical. So all those aspects, when somebody tells me I'm not a runner, I start like, you were born to run, and let's talk about it. And then so on, right? So that aspect, well, different, but we are the same thanks to the ability of running. And that's why I believe on everybody that comes with us that they can perform and they can run, and they just need to put the will. And then going into the pain part, yes, I agree, people that has endure real pain, knock on wood, but yes, they have a higher tolerance, because once you are at an event, it can be very physically painful. And that those individuals that have suffered more, I believe they can tolerate more pain. I haven't heard of a study, but I believe it should be there if we look for it. And then pain is not the enemy. Pain is the professor, is the teacher that let us know, identify areas of opportunity. Many times, and nowadays, we are used to living comfortable. And once we feel a little bit something, there you go, yes. Go to play on the AC, a little bit colder, a little bit hotter. And we don't want to feel it at all. But pain is not the enemy, it's the professor, and pushing, and also it rewards us. There's a part on our brain whenever we do hard stuff, it's like a star on our forehead. Pain it's part of it. It's part of living.
Yes, true. I love how the Marines say pain is suffering leaving your body. And I love that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think pain is kind of like something that you need to confront and be able to learn to handle. And as a runner, when you're able to really take it in and accept that you have to take it and keep going.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yes.
And then this connects a little bit with the question that you asked me before, what do I think? And then I told you I think about our community, and that I have identified my goal, my mission, and what I want to achieve with the community and how I want to help the city. And it's because we talk about passion, and we say like, oh my God, I'm passionate about so-and-so. But passion is what you're willing to suffer for. So that's where it connects with pain. What are you willing? There's this saying, find what you're passionate about and let it kill you. So when you're passionate about something, you don't mind the suffering, you don't mind the upsets, you don't mind, yes, it's hard, but you're willing to go the extra mile. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it's up 2 steps back, but now going back because your goal and your passion is driving you forward. And I wanted to add that.
No, and I hear you talking, Julio, and I have to say, I think you're a person who you know who you are, you know what you want, you know what you're passionate about. Is there something that you would change to what brought you here? Were you expecting something different in your life? I don't know, be a lawyer or do something different, or I don't know.
Up to this point, I have no regrets. But if there's something I would have done differently, I started taking care of myself because I practice sports. Really taking care of nutrition and being more dedicated was like on 2018.
How old were you?
Like if I'm 88.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like in your 30s? Were you like 30?
No, like 27.
27? Okay.
28, around there. And it's when I wanted it to be more serious and start pushing myself and seeing changes in my performance and my body. I wish I would have done it
sooner.
When I was younger, because I see a lot of younger kids, and this is a lot of younger individuals, a lot of the athletes that train with me. They are so disciplined and so determined. This new generation that have built different habits and so aware and so like taking all those bad habits out of the formula so early, that is awesome. I wish I had that. I didn't. It's okay. I had fun. It was cool. But that is something I would like different. Other than that, every single lesson into the sport and into my life, it's been fun.
Good.
No regrets. You're right. I do know what I want. Either you stand for something or you will fall for everything. And once again, sorry, I'm circling back. But we're starting this community and setting our goal to be what it is everything that Nancy and myself have been working diligently too, and we do it week by week by week.
And that's why you have success. Honestly, and all my respect to
Thank
you,
you.
because when exactly you know who you are, what you want, where you're going, and you have passion for it, you believe in it, like with all your heart, you can see things just working out for you. So congrats on that. I
Thank you.
respect that.
It's not always easy. So
No, it's not. I'm not saying it's easy.
No. And there has been times where there's some upsets but staying once again focus on the goal, as you mentioned, pushes us forward. But many times what it's seen, it's what they say, like the grass is always greener on the other side. But no, I mean, being successful is going through upset. How do you say it? Like failures and failure without losing excitement and keep on staying motivated. So on that, we have been good at whenever her energy is low, well, and so on.
And I think that's the beautiful also thing of having like a partner that you guys have the same vision. I mean, Nancy, that girl, she knows what she wants. She's active. She has the vision. She has the goals. She's a hardworking girl. Nancy, kudos. So, I mean, I think you guys are just like a great couple because you guys have that connection and that vision that you guys share with each other. So.
Thank you. And I think we complement. She is more into the organization and I'm more into the challenge and physical aspect of organization. Talking about organization, it's not only Nancy and I. We are like in front. Usually it's Nancy doing more of the connection with the community and she's the face. The ideas and everything, it's always bouncing, but she's usually who does the talking. Little by little, I've been exposed a little bit more and I have taken on that challenge as well. So I like challenges, and I know that is something that I need in the position that I'm at and what I'm doing, that it's going to just help me grow, and that's why I'm willing to do this and expose myself. There was another podcast that I participated when I listened to myself then. I'm like, but it's part of the growing process. So I love this. Thanks for this opportunity. And I wanted to say it's not only Nancy and myself. There's some people behind us. And I need to mention Fernando has been a key aspect on what we have done in the past years. Fernando Torres Day, he is like our marketing director. He does, whenever you see like the design on shirts, design on or Instagram design, he's Johnny Ive. What Johnny Ive is for Apple, that's what he has done for Liv3 Athletics. And Johnny Ive, he's the designer of the iPhones. And he came and changed the presentation of.
Yeah, and he's always working hard.
And that aspect as well, because it's barely clicking. Like, yes, he does. We all do this, but we also have something else going on the side. So he works with his dad, and then he has some other businesses on the side. So it's crazy to think about it. Like, yes, we do this because it's our passion, but we also have like our lives and responsibilities on the side.
Now, there's like a lot of run groups coming up here in El Paso. What makes you different, guys?
What have made us different? I like to think that we like to challenge ourselves. We like to have that athlete mentality. At least that's what I have tried to impose into the people that come and stay close. And whenever they come, it's challenging to the next one and believe on themselves. I'm pretty sure the other groups do it as well. They have their different methodology, but one thing that we all have in common is that we get in the city active. What makes us different that is that we are goal-oriented, that we're looking for challenges and new sports, that I want to challenge athletes to push themselves to try something different. On that note, I have brought people into the swimming, into the running, into the cycling and cross-train. Some of my closest friends now, they're doing mountain biking while they're training for a triathlon. Another one of them is very into high rocks, but still lifting weights. Another person, very good runner, but they enjoy like the lifting aspect and they're focusing a lot on the lifting. They go to the race podium first place. So creating that mentality of hybrid athlete and believe it on themselves that they can participate on different modalities, not only running. I think that makes us unique and also constantly challenging ourselves because we live it. So I like to sweat with my team and I like to challenge myself. And I think that's what has made us.
We'll also add something. I see always like learning, like educating yourselves, trying to learn and pass that information to others. Another star.
Thank you. I appreciate wisdom overall. I wish I had more time to actually dedicate to books, but I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading about leadership and personal development. And from there, the books have taught me a lot of, just an example, Born to Run. Once again, I highly recommend everybody.
I read it. I liked it.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that. And anybody that is running, I would like them to, especially because we're from here, I would like them to read the book because he talks about our origin, which is the Tarahumaras. By just living here, you were born in El Paso or Ciudad Juarez, you have a percentage of Tarahumara, and Tarahumara is people that runs. And therefore, if you say you're not a runner, another point why you, more than anybody here in this area, you are a runner. Yep. And going back, we appreciate wisdom. We try to learn. We're trying to certify on different aspects to offer more to our community. And not only to our Liv Athletics group. Nowadays, there's more people that we see on different events. And I like to share the little that I know to whoever I see.
I know you guys have different events. You guys have your challenges. So how does this keep building? Oh, you have the IROX thing. You also became certified on the IROX training that I remember like from last year. What's coming up?
What comes to Liv Athletics? It will be continue to grow in the endurance sport. Several of my friends are like, Julio, you need to focus into something. You cannot be just running and now triathlon, now high rocks, now ultra running. And what I see is that I'm endurance. And endurance surrounds all of that. There's very big goals surrounding all of these sports here in the city. But if we can make it short and for the long term, we want to build a legacy of health. That is the ultimate goal. Once we are no longer dedicating to this or not here, that will stay. And that is the ultimate goal. Now, as in right now, continue to growing or bringing people and helping people to start on the sport, which was our initial goal when we started running. Then from there it was, okay, if you don't know how to swim or cycle, we will help you finish your first triathlon. By doing that, we got exposed into the Eagle in the Sun series. And by doing the Eagle in the Sun, we got exposed to volunteering, being on the table in events. And after that, we got more into the creating events. And little by little, we have been exposed to more things surrounding the sports of endurance. And the only thing that I can, right now, what we are doing, but doing it better, and that will be to empower more people to come and do what we're doing. And also, we do have, it's because I don't want to say it, because we do have specific goals. But they're some are short, like right now, some in 2 years, some is next year. But it's providing an overall environment and supporting the sport in the city, not only as a sport, but creating events and creating advocacy for needs that the city has surrounding the sports. If we need trails, we need people to know the rules of whenever there's a cyclist on the road. If there's 10 cyclists, they can take the line. So it's all around the sport and helping our community. So that's what's coming. It's still surrounding all of the sports.
Okay.
But we want to empower more people to get their sport of their choice, develop. You're right. We believe in education. And we want to develop not only athletes, but we want to develop coaches. We want to develop events. We want to be a well-rounded organization all about the health of El Paso. We don't want to go, well, I'm speaking for myself, I don't know. But I don't plan to leave anytime soon. And the goal is here locally. And Juarez, of course, being that I grew up there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's where your heart is.
So, what comes, the sky's the limit.
And any events for this year that are coming up for people to register or invite them?
Of course. The more in specific, we were very happy to bring back. We acquire the 915 series, which is accumulating miles. It's virtual events. The Bike the 915, Run the 915. We have had the pleasure to do Run the 915 twice ourselves. It used to belong to Miss Gabriela Gallegos. And the Bike the 915, we did it once, but we're missing something there in the formula. If we're a triathlon community, there's something that... So yes, this year we're very excited to bring back the Swim the 915, which is part of the 915 series for the city. Hopefully more people are exposed into the swimming.
So that's coming this year?
Yes,
Cool.
this year. And that is what we're excited to be, like we have it in the burner. We're working on towards that as well. We will continue with our Bike the 915 in July, right on the time where the Tour de France is happening, and run the 915 as it is now a tradition in December.
And I love the sweatshirts this year.
Perfect.
Nice. And the socks.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. We put a lot of effort on those packets. We want our community to be happy to what they're receiving. On that note, we also would like to, we want to create advocacy to grow the sport all around it with considering the closing of streets. And we're also collaborating with other communities that have that same goal. And it's all around it.
Do we have a day in the city that we celebrate our sport here?
I'm glad you mentioned that there's these borderland community adventures, and that is their goal. Their goal is to close the street, main street, like other big cities does, and have it like to run, roller skate, and just like other cities does. And then once we bring all the communities together, then we can advocate.
Proclamate and you make a special day.
Which is the El Paso Fitness Day. So that is that community bringing together cyclists, runners, etc.
Amazing.
But that's the first step, right? Now we need to all jump in. Yes, something that is very rewarding, and it's great, you mentioned it, there's now a run club for every single day of the week, which is awesome. Now, I truly believe that as a whole, all the run clubs, all of the people around the sport in El Paso, our goal needs to be to maintain it. Yes, now we're here. We wanted a city that is active now. And
that's what we're saying. It's hard to stay.
Exactly. And we started with the boom of running 2 years ago. Now, people little by little will be looking at what's coming up next. Mm-hmm. We have on our backyard the Franklin Mountains. So if this is an invitation to everybody that it's now running or acquired the running habit recently, to look into that next challenge, which is the Franklin Mountains. Or backyard, there's cities with no mountains, and let me tell you, the Franklin Mountains are known for being hard. They are physically, like literally hard, but also ultra runners that come to our city, they're like runs that I have done, they're like, oh, where are you from? Immediately they, of course, identify. I don't know why, but where are you from? And I'm like, oh, from El Paso.
Franklin, really?
The Franklins are hard. The Franklins are hard. So I love to hear it. Because if our backyard is hard, that is only going to create hard runners. What best to be known as a city that runs, that little by little we're creating that. A proof of that is our marathon growing to those numbers that we're acquiring. So keep on pushing to those numbers and exposing more people to the sport. And then later, once we jump to those other challenges, we go to other cities. El Paso, those guys run. And trail runners from El Paso, the Franklins are hard. There's hard runners. So I would like to, and I usually talk about this with my runners, and I let them know, because we need to have that community mentality that we're representing El Paso to other cities that are runners. And in the north, the competition all around cycling, mountain cycling, triathlon, it's hard.
El Paso's coming, guys.
Yes,
El Paso's right behind you. We're coming.
Also, there was a study, I believe, where El Paso ranked place number 69, and I think it was among the cities in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. But we're in the map now. Okay. So we are moving. We're moving waves, yes. And with that being said, the goal is to maintain, to keep on growing, to bring more people into the sport. There's not only run clubs coming up, there's triathlon communities as well. And I was telling that for years, mention it. Okay, we're not going to be the only triathlon community. There's more coming. There's more coming in. And
how was that Ironman? Was it your first one?
It was my first Ironman 70.3, and it was done at Cozumel. It was beautiful. It was great experience because I had some really good friends. Usually, I will go and experience an event myself.
By yourself,
and then once I know how it feels, what everything, like take the points, then I will share and invite people. But on this specific event, it was a group of us training together and doing it for the first time together. We jump to the water, but you line up and then you jump into the water one by one. it was awesome that the journey, right? We all trained together. We all were nervous about it. What about your bike? What about the luggage for the bike? It's expensive over here. It's more affordable over here.
It's good because it was like a learning experience for everyone.
Exactly. And jumping into the water one after another one. I was swimming and I was seeing my friend Monica over here. And then I knew Miguel was behind.
Monica, Miguel, who else was there?
Fernando, Kevin, Jesus. So it was a total of 6 of us.
6, okay.
And
what was like a particular moment for you that was like, that you remember, that if you remember for the whole experience, it was like this?
Oh my God, it's because...
There has to be one that it was just remember that what you felt in that particular moment.
I think that moment when we
started,
when you are starting,
the water.
Yeah, and you're starting something that you have not done in the past is very exciting. Yes, you prepare for it, but there's a lot of variables that can go anyway, and then you don't. How are you gonna react?
Yeah.
What if you get a flat tire, right? What if you ate too much protein too fast, and then you're so all these aspects that can change your event. It's exciting, but once again, being there at the beginning, it's the right about to jump, and then we all huddle. And then it's like, guys, it is a pleasure that we have trained together and seeing you growth. That moment for me was meaningful. And then during the event, we all have different speed, different abilities. Some pick up on the bike, some others did better on the run. And that's the beginning there, starting together. That's what it's meaningful. That's what I keep because of the journey to get there, the learning that we did together, starting the challenge together, and then going and perform. The celebration was awesome as well.
I can imagine over there. Must have been good.
Very nice. Very nice. We got
Doesn't that bring details?
Yeah. We got a little boat and we went to Cielito, which is a place where you can be standing in the middle of the sea and you have all the fish swimming around you.
That's beautiful.
While they provide you fresh ceviche and other great cocktails. So it was great. Overall, it was a great experience. But if something that beginning, because of the excitement, because seeing their growth, I don't want to single out, but yeah, seeing the growth of all of them and my exposure to the event.
That's nice. And I feel like every race has that particular moment or the worst thing that happened in the race. I feel like those are the moments that stay with you, and they're meaningful, and they make you grow as well.
An athlete, yes.
Yeah.
And just like that, it was my first 70.3. Well, Cozumel, if you're going to take Cozumel, you have to have your electrolytes because it gets pretty hot on the run. Mile left the bike, which is my main challenge, and it's the main portion of the triathlon. You have to be a strong cyclist if you want to perform good on the triathlon. It's the biggest event.
You think that's a key of a triathlon?
There's several aspects, but yes, like if you think about swimming, is this smallest distance. But still, if you're a bad swimmer, then
what is the distance of swimming?
Did 1700 meters, so 1,700. And then
how much is in the bike?
In the bike, it was 55 miles.
55
and
miles.
Then half a marathon. After the cycling, start running, mile 3. Before we started the event, it started pouring. You're in the middle of the jungle, like everything is like, in the middle of the jungle, and it starts pouring. There's nowhere to go. Your bike is right there. You're getting all wet. Oh my God, is the race going to be like this? Am I going to jump in the sea? And it's going to be raining. What's going on? And it stopped raining, but still that excitement as well. And
the unexpected of the races.
Exactly. We cannot control it. But whenever it was time to run, the heat, the sun came out. The humidity, the heat was...
For me.
That was the biggest challenge. People was just getting ice, pouring it into their shirts and continue running. So it was a great experience. But definitely make sure you have your salt tablets and you load up good on carbs before that particular event. By mile 3 of the run, I'm like, I still have 10 miles of these.
That like a challenging moment for you?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's whenever you feel good and then you start, I'm like, okay, running.
Like whatever.
It's a half marathon. But stacking the events, that becomes a challenge.
And like the weather and this and that, you can have like all the training, but sometimes There's a lot of factors that you cannot control, and this is what makes you prove what are you made of.
That is correct. And it's very exciting. And I was going to mention, just like that, this past year, I did my first high rocks as well. And just like the triathlon, I did it with a group of friends that it was also their first high rocks. So, and it just happens that it's not the same group of the triathletes and the high rocks. So it's cool that I got the opportunity to experience with this group and then with this other group and being there. And high rocks is a whole different ball game. High rocks is very exciting. And from all the different roller coasters, high rocks is the one that's going to get your heart rate up there. There's a lot of excitement before the event. Same thing, it's a race, therefore there's a lot of variables. You know you prepare, but still you don't know what if the turf, it's harder here. In this particular case, we did it in Mexico City, and the altitude became a factor. Many athletes from around Mexico that are really good, they struggle on that particular event because of the altitude. And the day before the race, we went to this gym and started working with sleds just to warm up and have a feel of it. I pushed the sled. It was like 25 meters. Once I stand up on the other side, I got dizzy. I'm like, what the... And this was only 25 meters, so there goes your race. Okay, get ready for this. That's how it's going to be. But high rocks gets your heart rate. It was hard for me to... I thought, okay, I'm excited. Is the adrenaline, the way they set it up, and you're at the tunnel. There's a cool video. I don't want to say it because I want people to experience it, but that gets you pumped. And then 3, 2, 1, off you go. And I was like, okay, the first run, I'm going to settle at my pace. I'm going to control my breathing, lower my heart rate, and then I'll be able to. My heart rate didn't went below 170 some until the 6th exercise.
And that's surprising when that happens, like when you see like what your body can do on some races.
But it's completely unexpected, and that's also a learning curve. Be ready, look at the altitude, and know to control yourself. It was the first experience, so okay, check. Now the second one has to be better. And I gotta be more in control, like better in control. But those two events were part of my 3 goals for the last year. I did also an ultra in Ruidoso, and that was one of
I know the altitude there and the hills are pretty good as well. Yeah,
there were rolling hills, so it was.
I honestly prefer rollers than a flat race. Even though, like, you see the hill, you're like, well, the downhill is coming, and at least you get to recover and rest a little bit. So I do prefer rollers than a flat. So what do you prefer?
God, I don't know what I prefer. I like them both, but it's different suffering.
Yes.
Running flat, you're going to be using the same muscle and you're going to burn it.
Yes.
And then rolling hills, going up, I'm okay with going up. But coming down, the impact on the knees, that's a real challenge. So lowering down your body, but also go with the speed, it's taxing on the knees. But running flat can be a little bit monotonous. So
you have to pick.
Well,
you have to pick.
Well, definitely the hills, the rolling hills, because there's people that do not do good on the uphills, and I can tolerate.
What about trail or road?
Definitely trail, because everything that it entails. Trail running, you usually go into a mountain, you go to these beautiful views. You have to be focused on when your next step, you're looking like a few meters in front of you. Once you go trail running, and then you go back to running on the street, it's slightly different, because while you're running on the street, you're just focusing.
I haven't moved to the dark side yet.
Have a little taste of it. Have a little taste.
I feel like I'm going to get lost.
It's challenging. It gets technical. And what is really cool about it is that it's in your nature as well. Like, you don't have to overthink. If you see the rock that it's slightly bent and you put your feet, your body's going to create the balance. The body's always trying to stay in balance, like, period. So if you step on a rock, your body accommodates and arranges. At that same time, you're using different muscles that you don't use when you're just running on the street. So that builds a better, stronger runner overall.
Would you like to do a UTMB?
That's, I think,
would that be kind of like a dream race?
Yes, definitely. Yeah? Definitely. At least I think everybody wants to do a UTMB. the one 3 different countries with the most beautiful views, the most beautiful mountains. If you look at the videos of the starting line,
I was like in my work and it was starting. I just had my laptop there. I was just watching the race because I mean the views, the excitement is just.
And if you're a runner, you understand everything that goes towards that. And for that particular event, I believe you have to qualify to accumulating points on other UTMB
Yeah, you cannot
races.
just register and go for it. So.
And also 100 miles is not an easy task. You need to be at a whole different level. If you want to do a 100 miler, we're talking not only endurance and the mental and physical strength. We're talking also about the planning of your nutrition, and have the grit. It doesn't come just like, I'm going to do 100
And I love it because running is, I feel like it's everything but running. Because running is, you gotta have the nutrition, the mentality, the physical strength, like so many things that go around actually just running. It sounds so simple, but yet the more you get into it, you realize that it's not. I think for me, like the ultras are beginning to circle in my head. So, but I just love the beauty of endurance and that pain of endurance. I'm just addicted to that to that feeling. All right, Julio. So I know we can take here forever. I'm like so happy listening to you, learning from you, and getting to know more about you. I love that aspect of the podcast that allows me to really connect and see the person, like who is that person, how this person like moving the whole city of El Paso, who is he? So thank you for coming, thank you for everything that you do. Like I respect you guys so much. I have a lot of deep admiration. I have you guys in my heart. Maybe I'm not always there, but I have a lot of respect for you guys and everything that you do. I admire how you move the city, how you're like such great leaders of sports. In getting the people moving around. I love to see you grow, and I wish nothing more than keep you guys evolving and see you growing as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for allowing me to share. I hope people can get inspired by the conversation, and I would like to invite our community to take on that next challenge, something that scares you a little bit, but excites you a lot, because usually when you get those butterflies in your stomach, when you're hesitant, when you get that excitement, that's a signal that you should go. Signal that you should put your energy into that, whatever it is. Not only the running or the physical activities, but also if you're looking for that promotion at work, and if you're going to school and you're about to graduate, if whatever it is that gives you that emotion, that's what the sensation that you should go. Like, go for it. And that is my invitation for everybody to your audience, and that this message gets to, is to challenge yourself to something that is a little bit scary, because on the other side, the reward is significant. Thank you very much once again for the opportunity to share, and thanks for your support. You were a key factor on our mileage for the Run the 915. And I remember you inputting the crazy amount of miles that you do now and what you used to do, like it's crazy. The city is growing and you're a part of it. Bringing the different run clubs here and being exposed, it also creates that bonding in a way. And at the end of the day, we all representing El Paso, Juarez, Las Cruces, and let's put our El Paso in the map.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's let the people know that we have races and that we're good athletes here.
Yeah, we all learn from each other like so much, and we keep growing together. Last invitation for people to follow you, your Instagram.
Yes, follow Liv3 Athletics. I just changed my Instagram to public. It used to be private, so also you can find me on Julio_Liv. And I don't share much, I don't post much, but that's another opportunity for growth. So we'll see what on 2026 what I start sharing a little bit more.
All right.
About the events, only with the intention to inspire.
Of course, That's what it's all about. All right, well, thank you again. Just to Nancy, to all of your team, and see you guys.